Good afternoon. We've got some really strong sun today. The weather is so interesting. First we started off thunderstorms, lightning, hail, uh, and as you can see the ground is like this nice mist coming off of it, but the sun is just killing it. So I'm sorry if the lighting's a little bit different to what we use on this channel, but we're gonna go with it. We do some avant-garde shit. So I don't know what that noise is in the background, that like humming noise. There's a train track just over there, but a train wouldn't take so long to come, so I don't know what that is. I guess it can add a little bit of ambience. So I want to talk about social media again, and I talk a lot about social media, and I think a lot about the way it's affecting us as individuals, us as communities. I've only recently just got social media properly to promote myself. I never ever had social media. I had like Facebook, but I never went on it, and I never posted anything. I just use messengers to talk to people. I got WhatsApp to talk to people. I don't connect to people that way, and I like privacy. Not because I've got anything ridiculous to show people. And I work in the arts, but I've never needed social media to promote myself. I've just gone off word of mouth, and I still don't. The only reason I'm doing it is because I want to try and bring more people towards my stuff. Hopefully reach a bigger audience. So it's kind of alarming. So I got social media and I got Instagram, and it's crazy that the first people I connected to were old friends, old flames, people I don't talk to anymore. They're the first people to sort of follow me. And I was sort of unsure if I should follow them back because I have no relationship with them, but they still mean something to me. They mean something more to me than a stranger. So I have decided to follow them back out of politeness, but it's probably in this very weird situation where, say if I post something on my story, you can see that they've seen, but there's no relationship there. I'm not saying they should like. Obviously, when I watch a video, even if I like the video, I don't like every video I see. So I'm not saying they should just like what they see, but there's just a strange relationship that on social media we're all like watching each other, but we're all incredibly lonely, and we're all manipulating our life. Because I have done some cool things in life. I've made a few films, I've written a few books, I started a podcast, I go on some cool adventures, and I'd like to show that to the world as not as a way to show off, but hopefully as a way to attract the idea of it kind of is showing off, really, isn't it? No matter what way you look at it, it's so alive, isn't it? You can hear the birds. No matter what, I can't go there because the sun gets me. No matter what way you look at it, I guess it is showing off. I guess I do want people to see the things I've done. So that's just the problem. It's the problem that and what we're doing. So when I say, if I have a political opinion, what's, let's say, left, and I need the world to know it because it represents me, it represents what I believe in, represents my ideology, and I put it out there. Because of how the world is, the right are going to get annoyed at me, maybe, or even the left are going to get annoyed at me, or some other groups are going to get annoyed at me. And that's the problem. We're all creating this image of ourselves, and we're putting it out onto the internet, and we're getting backlash, and we're getting hate, but does it necessarily reflect us? This is the big problem. This is the overall problem. I believe humans are so complex and so nuanced that any piece of content you put on the internet, anything you say or make, like the hardest profession I'd say on the internet is female stand-up, a female comedian. They get torn to shreds for jokes, what men make. They get something that's about. I'm gonna get bit to death, aren't I? They get shredded on the internet. I feel bad for them. I'm not white knighting, but it's just one of those. It's one of those professions which doesn't do well on the internet. because every single group is, say if you're into cars, that's a certain sort of group. Say if you're into films, that's a certain sort of group. Everything is just split into groups, and whenever you post something on the internet on this, you're objectively putting yourself into a group and saying, I'm part of this, I represent these. And if you try and change it, which every human has to do, every human at some point has to turn their back on their own ideology, because it's called growth, it's called maturity. We grow up and we learn from our mistakes, and we not necessarily that we made a mistake during this group, but we maybe join a group, like when you're younger and you're just like, alright, I'm just going to go full email. I never did this, but this is an example. You go full email, and then when you get all the, some of the makeup comes off a little bit, and then you're also into rap a little bit, and then as you get even older, you sort of realise, look, I can be into everything, and I don't need to just go full into this, I don't need to fully commit to one thing. So when we put ourselves on the internet and we're showing, oh look, it's a Friday night, I'm at a pub, I have a social life, it's never the truth, is it? Because usually that person doesn't have a social life. Usually they were in a social environment where the people didn't even like that person, but they decided to take a photo. I've took so many group photos where on that night the group did not get along, but in the photo we looked tight. So can you really believe any photo? Probably not. But I don't think we should not post things on the internet, because it is nice to share. We need to share, but what I'm trying to say is because everything is so, because life is so nuanced. This is why there's so much anger and so much. So I'm part of this other YouTube community where, and I'm not hating this community. I'm not going to name what community it is, because this could just be any community. So I'm just going to use it as like a broad stroke. I'm part of this community, which is, I fell into it by accident. It's content I never wanted to make, and it's for, I say, all demographic. And in that community, the rules have already been set of that community. The videos have to be a certain way. Your speech pattern has to be a certain way. What you say has to be a certain way. There's no area, there's no room to create anything new or design a fresh look at this content. So you get a few people who enjoy you bring something new to the thing, but most people just want the cookie cutter stuff. You see it in films all the time. Like if you look at the Marvel franchise, you have so many films are released. Some are good, some are bad, some are okay. And then there becomes a point when people get bloated, people get sick of them, people get tired of them, and they can't work out why. They start blaming the films. But the real reason is because they're just tired of that content. But the people are making the films, and they can't try anything crazy, they can't try anything fresh. I think Andor is the only thing that's trying anything crazy or fresh in a franchise thing, because people are scared of losing money. And this is the problem. We on Tinder and on whatever people use, Snapchat, whatever, we say we like traveling, we are open-minded, we like going to restaurants. And how many times we date these people or meet these people and they don't like traveling, or they like traveling at somebody else's expense, or they don't go to many restaurants, or people are just saying whatever. It's like the INFJ thing, because it's the rarest personality, now all of a sudden everybody's got ADHD. Because what we've created now, a network, now a system where we have to pick things what make us stand out and make us good. But a real human being is complex and nuanced, and they change their ideas, they grow, they mature. So things what they said, they don't necessarily, things what I've said in previous videos like a year ago, I don't agree with anymore. That's how fast I believe as humans we adapt. So social media really does, it still scares me, and it always will scare me, because there's just that show-off aspect to it, what I find disingenuous, and I find in order to have success on social media, you have to sell on one of the tick boxes, sex appeal, a commitment to an idea. I don't think that's ever really been art. I don't think it's ever really been life, has it? But it just seems to be getting worse, and it seems to be going into the stage where we are no longer talking to each other, we're no longer connecting. Like, I think one of the I love stand up and I love comedy, but one of the problems with comedy is, and especially people what work in comedy, they struggle to take life seriously. So you'll see if comedians start becoming sentimental, they have to quickly destroy the joke. They have to kill the joke because they don't want those emotions to come up, the sentimentality, and that part of the internet exists, like the part of the internet where everything is a joke and everything is a meme. And there is something nice about that, because we should never take ourselves too seriously at the end of the day, because we all are kind of ridiculous. Somebody wrote a book about that. I think Robin Ince, is it? Not Robin Ince. He's the guy who managed Manchester United. Is he? I don't know. I'll flash you up who I'm talking about. But this is the fundamental problem, that we've all stolen. We've all stolen identity based off what we've seen, and then we've manufactured a presence on the internet, a presence what isn't true to us, and then we have to try and live by it. But it's just competition. When was the last time we ever got together as friends and it wasn't a competition and we just enjoyed each other's company? That lighting's nice. I'm going to sit in that lighting for a bit. I find it hard to get the right position on the channel for the camera, but it's probably one of the things when I get back onto the computer looks terrible, but right now it looks good. I've always thought the summer suits my complexion. In the winter I don't always look too good. My favourite moments, and they come so few and far now, is the moments where I generally just with friends. I've had a few drinks, we're eating some good food, and we're just being silly, and we're just messing around, and we're not taking life too seriously. We're trading stories and anecdotes. They're my favourite moments, and they always will be. But it's so hard to get a group of people together now where there's not this crazy competition. Like, all it is like, I'll post a picture on social media of like something I'm doing or something I've done, and then somebody else who's seen it, who's feeling a little, oh, I need to do something, they'll a few days later, a week later, they'll post something so you can see it, because we're all watching each other secretly. We're all voyeurs in each other's lives, but we don't actually. I've said this about celebrities before. We don't actually care about the celebrity. It's what the celebrity does for us. There are some exceptions to the rule. I do believe you can be obsessed to the point, past role model, to the point you feel this person is genuine. And I have that with a few people. There's a few celebrities where I think if I was to meet them, I would be starstruck by them. But the majority of people we see, it's all smoke. It's not the full truth. It's like I work online. I work independently online, and a lot of people ask me. A lot of people just assume that that's better than a normal job. The hours can be similar, sometimes longer. I make probably just about as much money as a normal job. But from people viewing in, it seems like the ultimate thing when it's not, because you're trapped in home, your social life goes down, you have to then force yourself to exercise more because you're not out in public. You're not walking to a photocopy or whatever, you just sort of sat around. So that's what I feel we've done. I feel like we've gone too deep into this idea of how's this gonna end? Like, we should be ending this on our own happiness. We should be finding the relationship we want, the plot of land we want, whatever it is we want. Even if you don't want land, you just want to travel, whatever it is, we should be finding that happiness within ourselves, independently. And then once we've got it, we should just dip out of the game. We don't need to be in the game anymore. But it's not going to happen, is it? It's like when I make a music video or a film or something, the very, very, very like next day or an hour after, I want to make something else, because it's part of the ego. Like, we have to keep going on. And that's what concerns me. Just the like, when I was a kid, my whole objective was just to play. And in a way, it kind of worked, because I wanted to build tree houses, I wanted to build rope swings, I wanted to do stuff, I wanted to build stuff, I wanted to put mints in Coca-Cola, I wanted to try all this sort of stuff. But when we get older, it becomes a scheme. When we meet old friends, it becomes who's done the most, who can say what. It's no longer about the friendship. And I think social media is coming in between that. So I generally do believe, if you don't have social media in your life, you're going to be healthy. When I had social media in my life, didn't have it in my life, sorry, I felt extremely well in the mind. But at the same time, I don't believe you should let other people or how you feel stop you from putting your stuff out there, if you have interesting stuff to show. So it's a tough one. I'm sort of pro and against social media, because with the power of social media, there's a lot of cool people out there what we're now connected to, which is great. People that do improve our lives, but it also segregates segregates us into groups. I don't think that can be stopped. I think why there's humans, there's status, isn't there? Because even if we go meta with these videos, it's because I've seen people do these videos and I feel I can do a better job. That's how everything starts. It's just, oh, I like that, I really like that. It's almost like you're in a relationship and somebody's cheating on your partner. I really, really like that person, but somebody else cheated. Wait, I need that person. I need to show them what I can do. It's like, if you think of filmmaking, right? Every single filmmaker, every single director, everybody who's written the story, they're shaping the story into their own words and their own eyes. That's all what a film is. It's just a story in somebody else's eyes, words in somebody else's hands or in somebody else's mouth. Like, videos like this, what are shot outside, people do them in the ASMR way, where they whisper and they're like, welcome to nature, and they tiptoe about, and what they're doing, they're selling this idea. Like, I'm out here now making a video, okay? And I make videos out here because I feel I have clarity when I'm outside, and I feel I can talk about this stuff more, and I feel it blends into nature better. Even though I'm a fast talker, I admit that I'm not the most easiest on the ears to listen to, but that's me doing that legit. But some people are like, oh, people like the outdoors, so now I'm going to whisper in their ear, and they're gonna get what they need from this video. That's what we're doing as humans. We're seeing what we've got to do to create and get that thing what is going to benefit us financially, or is going to benefit us status. So I need to take a picture of this car, I need to take a picture of this food, I need to take a picture of these shoes. And can you take a picture again because you filmed the wrong angle? I don't look very good on that angle. And then they take the picture again, it's like, just one more time. It's not quite the angle I'm looking for. Every time I do these videos, I always destroy a pine cone. There we go. Okay, I'm going to end this here. It's been really nice out here today. I'm filming these videos weekly at the moment. I just don't have the time. And there was a time when I was doing them daily. Well, I did load daily, and then I went homeless for a bit, so I couldn't actually upload them. And then I got a flat, and then I just decided to upload them day by day. And then I wanted to do a couple of videos a week, because in my phone I feel like I've kind of been for maybe the past few months, it's going around the same point over and over again. But I do have a lot of stuff I want to talk about. It's just when I've come out here, I've been going for the topics what are still heavy on my mind, which is this topic. But I will in the close future be diving into more topics. It's hard, isn't it? Because when you do a topic what maybe somebody likes, you run the risk of the next topic not being like that. Because I'm dealing with people that like to explore most avenues of life. I like to have those conversations. Okay, ciao.